The penny coin is one of the most recognized and widely discussed coins in the history of currency, especially in the United States, where it has played an important role in everyday transactions for more than 2 centuries. The United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, was first authorized by the Coinage Act of 1792 and has undergone many changes in design, composition, and value over time. The first official 1-cent coin was the 1793 flowing hair large cent, a copper coin much larger than the modern penny we see today. In its early years, the penny was made of nearly pure copper and had significant weight compared to current versions. Over the decades, the design evolved to reflect different symbols of American identity, including liberty, flying eagles, Indian heads, and eventually President Abraham Lincoln. In 1909, to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the United States Mint introduced the Lincoln cent, making it the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of a symbolic figure. The Lincoln cent was designed by Victor David Brenner and originally featured 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, which is why these coins are commonly called wheat pennies. These wheat pennies were produced from 1909 until 1958 and are now highly collected by coin enthusiasts. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and this design remained until 2008. In 2009, to mark the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth, 4 different reverse designs were released, each representing a different stage of Lincoln's life, including his birth and early childhood in Kentucky, his formative years in Indiana, his professional life in Illinois, and his presidency in Washington, D.C. Starting in 2010, the reverse design was changed again to feature a Union shield, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single country. The composition of the penny has also changed multiple times due to economic conditions and metal prices. Originally made of nearly 100% copper, where coins' metal content was adjusted during wartime and periods of rising copper prices. In 1943, during World War II, copper was needed for military supplies, so the United States Mint produced pennies made from zinc-coated steel. These 1943 steel cents are easily recognized by their silver-gray appearance and magnetic properties. However, in 1944, the mint returned to using copper, but instead used recycled brass shell casings from wartime ammunition. In 1982, another major change occurred when the composition shifted from mostly copper to a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. This was done because the cost of copper had risen so much that it was more expensive to produce a penny than its face value. Today's pennies are composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. Although the penny has a face value of just 1 cent, certain rare versions can be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. For example, the 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent, minted in San Francisco with the designer's initials, VDB, on the reverse, is highly sought after because of its low mintage. Another famous example is the 1943 copper penny, which was accidentally struck on copper planchets instead of steel, and is considered one of the rarest and most valuable era coins in American history. Similarly, the 1955 doubled die penny, showing noticeable doubling in the date and lettering, is extremely popular among collectors and can sell for significant amounts depending on condition. These rare pennies show how a simple 1-cent coin can become a valuable treasure due to historical mistakes, low production numbers, or unique characteristics. The penny also holds cultural and emotional value beyond its monetary worth. It has inspired common sayings, such as "a penny for your thoughts and find a penny. Pick it up. All day long, you'll have good luck." For many people, collecting pennies is the first step into the world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins. Children often start by saving wheat pennies or searching pocket change for older dates, mint marks, or unusual features. Over time, this simple hobby can grow into a serious passion involving coin albums, grading services, auctions, and historical research. Coin grading plays a major role in determining a penny's market value, as coins in mint state condition, with sharp details and original luster, are worth significantly more than worn or damaged examples. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins based on strict standards and assign numerical grades that help buyers and sellers determine fair prices. Despite its long history, the future of the penny has been debated in recent years. Some economists argue that the coin costs more to produce than it is worth, and that limiting it could save millions of dollars in government expenses. Others believe the penny should be preserved for tradition, charity, fundraising, and precise pricing in retail transactions. Several countries, including Canada, have already discontinued their 1-cent coins, rounding cash transactions to the nearest 5 cents. In the United States, However, the penny remains in circulation and continues to be minted in large quantities each year. The penny coin represents more than just 1 cent. It represents history, economic change, artistic design, and the story of a nation evolving over time, from the large copper cents of the 18th century to the modern zinc-based coins of today. The penny has survived wars, economic crises, metal shortages, and technological changes in minting. It has featured powerful symbols of liberty and the steady image of Abraham Lincoln for over a century. It has been saved in jars, searched in rolls, auctioned for record-breaking prices, and passed from hand to hand in everyday commerce for collectors, historians, and ordinary citizens alike. The penny remains a small coin with a very big story. As the penny continued to circulate through the 20th century, it became more than just a unit of currency and developed into a powerful symbol of economic life in the United States. During the early 1900s, pennies were commonly used in daily purchases when 1 cent had meaningful buying power. A single penny could purchase small items such as candy, newspapers, or basic household goods, and children often carried a few cents to school to spend during breaks. Inflation gradually reduced the purchasing power of the penny over the decades, but its physical presence in commerce remained constant. The introduction of the Lincoln cent in 1909 permanently changed the identity of the 1 cent coin because it marked the first time a real historical figure appeared on a circulating United States coin. The image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, became one of the most recognized portraits in American numismatic history. The original wheat reverse, featuring 2 stylized wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America, symbolized agricultural strength and national prosperity. Asterisk, the San Francisco minted 1909 SVDB penny quickly became one of the most famous key dates in American coin collecting because of its extremely low mintage of only 484,000 pieces. Collectors realized early on that this coin was scarce, and demand increased steadily over time as coin collecting grew in popularity during the 1930s and 1940s, especially during the Great Depression when people searched their pocket change for valuable coins. Many individuals began filling Lincoln cent albums year by year. Coin folders encouraged people to look for different mint marks, such as S for San Francisco and D for Denver, in addition to coins struck in Philadelphia, which historically carried no mint mark until later years. This organized approach to collecting created widespread public awareness of rarities and variations. World War II brought dramatic changes to penny production. In 1943, copper was declared a strategic war material because it was needed for ammunition and military equipment. The United States Mint replaced the traditional bronze alloy with zinc steel, creating the distinctive 1943 steel cent. These coins appeared silver in color and were often confused with dimes because of their appearance. They were also prone to rust if the zinc coating wore away. Although more than 1 billion steel cents were produced, making them common in circulated condition, high-grade uncirculated examples remained desirable to collectors. The following year, in 1944, the mint returned to copper-based composition. Using recycled shell casings from military training facilities, this wartime transition led to one of the most famous minting errors in American history. A small number of 1943 copper cents were accidentally struck on leftover bronze planchettes. These rare era coins are worth extraordinary sums and have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. Similarly, a few 1944 steel cents were mistakenly struck and are also extremely valuable. After the war, the Lincoln wheat design continued until 1958. By the late 1950s, the United States Mint sought to update the reverse design, and in 1959, the Lincoln Memorial replaced the wheat ears. The memorial design was created by Frank Guest and allowed viewers to see a small depiction of the Lincoln statue inside the memorial building, making Lincoln the first person to appear on both sides of the same circulating United States coin. The memorial reverse remained in use for nearly 50 years, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. During this period, billions of pennies were minted annually to meet commercial demand. In 1982, rising copper prices once again forced the mint to reconsider the coin's composition. The cost of producing a bronze penny approached and eventually exceeded 1 cent, making it economically inefficient. The solution was to introduce a new composition consisting primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. Both copper and zinc versions were minted during part of 1982, for creating an interesting variety for collectors, because coins from that year can be found in different weights and mint mark combinations. The copper cents weigh approximately 3.11 grams, while the zinc versions weigh about 2.5 grams. This transition marked the end of the traditional bronze era that had defined the penny for nearly 2 centuries. Era coins and varieties continued to capture the attention of collectors. The 1955 double-die obverse penny is one of the most famous examples, showing dramatic doubling in the date and lettering that is clearly visible without magnification. This error occurred when the coin die received a misaligned double impression during manufacturing. Instead of destroying the defective dies immediately, a number of coins entered circulation, and they quickly became prized finds. Other doubled dies, off-center, strikes, clipped planchettes, and repunched mint marks have also contributed to the complexity and excitement of Lincoln cent collecting. The 2009 Bicentennial Series honored Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday and depicted 4 stages of his life, including his birth and childhood in Kentucky, his formative years in Indiana, his professional career in Illinois, and his presidency in Washington, D.C. These designs provided educational insight into Lincoln's journey from humble beginnings to national leadership. In 2010, the reverse design changed again to the Union Shield, symbolizing unity and strength. This modern design continues to be produced today. Throughout its long existence, the penny has reflected the economic conditions, artistic trends, and historical priorities of the nation. Its metal content has shifted according to wartime needs and market prices. Its imagery has evolved to honor leadership and national unity, and its value to collectors has ranged from 1 cent to light amounts of money. Even as debates continue about whether the coin should remain in circulation, the penny stands as a durable artifact of American history, linking generations through a small piece of metal that has passed through countless hands over more than 200 years. As coin collecting continued to expand during the second half of the 20th century, the penny became the foundation of many serious numismatic collections, not only because it was affordable but because it offered an extraordinary range of varieties, mint marks, historical periods, and grading levels to explore. Many collectors began their journey by searching through bankrolls of Lincoln cents, a practice known as roll hunting, hoping to discover key dates, era coins, or heat-grade examples that had escaped heavy circulation. The excitement of finding an older wheat penny mixed among modern coins created a sense of treasure hunting that kept interest alive across generations. Because pennies are produced in such large quantities, they circulate widely, increasing the chances of discovering overlooked rarities. This accessibility helped build one of the largest collector bases in the world. With millions of people assembling Lincoln cent albums year by year, grading plays a crucial role in determining the value of a penny. The difference between a heavily worn coin-graded good and a sharply detailed mint state example can represent a dramatic increase in price. Professional grading services such as Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company evaluate coins using a numerical scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better preservation and stronger original luster. A 1909 SVDB penny in low circulated condition may be worth a substantial amount, but the same coin in mint state 65 condition can command many times that value at auction. This emphasis on condition has led collectors to store coins carefully in protective holders, albums, or certified slabs to preserve their surfaces from scratches, corrosion, or environmental damage. Auction houses have also played an important role in shaping the penny market. Rare examples of famous dates like the 1943 copper cent or the 1955 double die have achieved remarkable prices when offered publicly. Competitive bidding can drive prices far beyond initial estimates, especially when coins are in exceptional condition or have a well-documented ownership history. Some rare Lincoln cents have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, proving that even a 1-cent coin can become a major investment asset under the right circumstances. These headline sales often attract media attention, inspiring new collectors to examine their own pocket change with renewed interests. Beyond the Lincoln series, earlier 1-cent designs are also deeply studied and collected. Before 1909, the United States Mint produced the Indian head cent tweet, which circulated from 1859 to 1909. The Indian head cent was designed by James Barton, Longacre, and featured a depiction of Liberty wearing a Native American headdress. Certain dates in this series, such as the 1877 Indian head cent, are considered key rarities due to low mintage and heavy circulation losses. Even earlier were the Flying Eagle cents of 1856 to 1858, and before them, the large cents that began in 1793. These early large cents were significantly bigger than modern pennies and were made primarily of copper. Collectors often specialize in these early series because they represent the formative years of the nation's coinage system established shortly after the American Revolution. The penny also serves as a reflection of broader economic trends. Inflation has steadily reduced its purchasing power to the point where 1 cent can no longer buy any single item independently in most retail environments. This has fueled ongoing debate about whether the coin should be discontinued. Supporters of elimination argue that the cost of producing and distributing pennies exceeds their practical usefulness, and that rounding cash transactions to the nearest 5 cents would simplify commerce. Opponents argue that the penny supports charitable fundraising drives, maintains pricing flexibility, and carries historical significance that should not be abandoned. While some countries have eliminated their lowest denomination coins, the United States continues to produce billions of pennies annually, demonstrating the complexity of balancing tradition with economic efficiency. Educational institutions and hobby organizations promote penny collecting as a gateway to learning about history, economics, metallurgy, and art. Through studying pennies, collectors gain insight into wartime metal shortages, political leadership, engraving techniques, and the evolution of minting technology. The process of designing and striking a coin involves creating master hubs, working dies, and precise planchets that must meet strict weight and composition standards. Small variations during this manufacturing process can create collectible errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, lamination flaws, and broad tricks. These production anomalies transform ordinary coins into unique items with distinctive character.